Tulsi Gabbard, candidate for Congress in Hawaii and a captain in the Army National Guard. As a combat veteran, I know the costs of war. The sacrifices made by our troops and military families are immeasurable. These days, it's often women in uniform, moms, wives, even grandmothers who deploy and leave their families behind. Such heroes and patriots need and deserve leaders who truly understand and care about their hardships and will fight for them. Leaders like President and Michelle Obama and Vice President and Dr. Biden.
It's the grand finale to Campaign 2022. So why are we opening this podcast with Tulsi Gabbard addressing the 2012 Democratic National Convention when she was first running for Congress? Well, for the same reason we're playing Tulsi Gabbard addressing the 2016 convention when she nominated Bernie Sanders for president.
It is when we truly care for each other, choosing inclusion and love over division and hatred, that this great country is truly at its greatest. Let us draw inspiration from the words of Mahatma Gandhi. A small body of determined spirits, fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission, can alter the course of history.
Quoting Mahatma Gandhi at the Democratic Convention. Yes, it's like taking Gandhi from a baby. Because in this podcast, we are closing out C-SPAN's Campaign 2022 coverage with two storylines we weren't expecting. Tulsi Gabbard campaigning for Republicans and Barack Obama talking about his birth certificate. And both plot twists involve, get ready for this, Hawaii. So brace yourself or throw a luau, because it's the big surprise episode of C-SPAN's podcast, The Weekly. We'll get back to Tulsi Gabbard in a moment. First, let's get right to the other storyline from Campaign 2022 we weren't expecting, Barack Obama and the Barack Obama birth certificate. On October 29th, former President Barack Obama campaigned in Milwaukee for Democratic candidates, including the Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor running for U.S. Senate, Mandela Barnes.
I want to say something here. I know that there's some folks, probably maybe not in this auditorium, but elsewhere in Wisconsin, who think, and I know these ads are running this way, that just because Mandela's named Mandela, just because he's a Democrat with a funny name, he must not be like you. He must not share your values. I mean, we've seen this. It sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? So Mandela, get ready to dig up that birth certificate. Get ready. Remember when that's the good old days. Remember when that was the craziest thing that people said? Think about that. Like that wasn't that long ago. Everybody's all like, wow, that's some crazy stuff. Now it doesn't even make the top 10 list of crazy.
Barack Obama's reference to his birth certificate is a travel back through time, over 11 years, and like much in politics these days, takes us back to Donald Trump. In March of 2011, Trump said he was seriously considering running for president, at the same time demanding that incumbent President Barack Obama release his long-form birth certificate, questioning whether he was born in America. President Obama did release the long-form birth certificate the next month, as he told the White House press corps on April 27th.
We've had every official in Hawaii, Democrat and Republican, every news outlet that has investigated this, confirm that, yes, in fact, I was born in Hawaii, August 4th, 1961, in Kapiolani Hospital. We've posted the certification that is given by the state of Hawaii on the internet for everybody to see. People have provided affidavits that they, in fact, have seen this birth certificate, and yet this thing just keeps on going.
Hawaiian-born President Obama was right about the last part. That thing did keep on going. Here's Donald Trump later that day in New Hampshire.
Something that nobody else has been able to accomplish. I was just informed while on the helicopter that our president has finally released a birth certificate. I'd want to look at it, but I hope it's true so that we can get on to much more important matters so the press can stop asking me questions. He should have done it a long time ago. Why he didn't do it when the Clintons asked for it, why he didn't do it when everybody else was asking for it, I don't know. But I am really honored, frankly, to have played such a big role in hopefully getting rid of this issue. Now, we have to look at it. We have to see, is it real? Is it proper? What's on it? But I hope it checks out beautifully. I am really proud. I am really honored.
3 days later, both Donald Trump and Barack Obama attended the White House Correspondents' Dinner. On April 30th, 2011, Donald Trump was in the audience, President Obama on stage.
Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac?
4 years later, February 27, 2015, at CPAC, Donald Trump was still taking the issue seriously.
Now, as far as the birth certificate, Hillary Clinton wanted his birth certificate. Hillary is a birther. She wanted it, but she was unable to get it. John McCain fought really hard and really viciously to get his birth certificate. John McCain failed, couldn't get it. Trump comes along, and I'm not a sitting senator, I'm not a sitting anything else. I'm a good businessman. But Trump comes along and said, birth certificate. He gave a birth certificate. Whether or not that was a real certificate, because a lot of people question it, I certainly question it, but Hillary Clinton wanted it, McCain wanted it, and I wanted it. He didn't do it for them, he did it for me. So in one sense, I'm proud of it. Now all we have to do is find out whether or not it was real.
The next year, another joke from Barack Obama about the birth certificate. September 17, 2016, at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation dinner.
There's an extra spring in my step tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I am so relieved that the whole birther thing is over. I mean, ISIL, North Korea, poverty, climate change, none of those things weighed on my mind like the validity of my birth certificate. And to think that with just 124 days to go, under the wire, we got that resolved. I mean, that's a boost for me in the home stretch. In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat. Lord.
Of course, in less than 2 months, Donald Trump would replace Barack Obama as president, which brings us back to the present, 2022 and Obama. But our fast forward does not return us to Barack Obama himself. In our time travel forward, we end up with former Obama White House press secretary Jay Carney. Remember all those jokes Barack Obama cracked about the birther issue over the years that we just played? Well, here's what Jay Carney told the Bipartisan Policy Center on April 20th, 2022.
We did not take birtherism seriously. We did not believe that people were listening to those folks who were out there claiming that President Obama had not been born in the United States and that he wasn't Christian until it was too late. And I know President Obama feels this way because we talked about it. And I know that the polls still show that a significant majority of self-identified Republicans don't believe President Obama was born in the United States, and a significant percentage of them believe he was a Muslim. Think about how corrosive that is to our politics. And think about the kind of partisanship that kind of corrosive politics has contributed to what we see today. And that was consequential. That was a mistake. We should have taken it seriously. We shouldn't have joked about it.
That was in April. Barack Obama's latest birth certificate joke was in October. Now, the second unexpected storyline from campaign 2022. And like the first one, it also comes with a Donald Trump origin story. Let's bring in Tulsi Gabbard again. February 3rd, 2019, Hawaii. Representative Gabbard announces her campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination with a few swipes at Donald Trump. Here's one.
Where instead of draining the swamp, our president has turned it into a cesspool of corruption.
6 months later, Tulsi Gabbard is campaigning in Iowa. Here's what she said about Donald Trump on August 12th, 2019.
And it breaks our hearts to see that we have a president in the White House who is abusing his power, who is misusing his position to stoke fear, to stoke racism, to stoke bigotry, all for his own personal, selfish political gain. It breaks my heart because this is not who we are.
On March 19th, 2020, Tulsi Gabbard dropped out of the Democratic race.
It's clear that Democratic primary voters have chosen Vice President Joe Biden to be the person who will take on President Trump in the general election. I know Vice President Biden and his wife, and I'm grateful to have called his son, Beau, a friend who also served in the National Guard. Now, although I may not agree with the vice president on every issue, I know that he has a good heart, and he's motivated by his love for our country and the American people. I'm confident that he will lead our country guided by the spirit of aloha.
And now, the surprise Tulsi Gabbard plot twist. In October 2022, she abandoned the Democratic Party.
Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
Tulsi Gabbard didn't say she would join the Republicans, but she campaigned for them. In Arizona, for Republican governor candidate Kari Lake, and on October 28th in Nevada, for Republican Senate candidate Adam Laxalt.
I am here and proud to support Adam Laxalt to send him to the U.S. Senate because we love this country and we stand for freedom. Aloha.
Aloha. The same way Tulsi Gabbard ended her Democratic campaign 2 years ago, the same way she opened her speech at the Democratic Convention 10 years ago. And a footnote, both Republican Adam Laxalt, who Tulsi Gabbard campaigned for, and Democrat Mandela Barnes, who Barack Obama campaigned for, lost their Senate races. And now a bonus clip. We heard Barack Obama tell a birth certificate joke on the campaign trail in 2022, and we heard him tell birth certificate jokes when it was a dominant issue over 10 years ago. Well, here's another birth certificate joke from someone you might not have expected. Campaigning for president against Barack Obama on August 24, 2012, in Commerce, Michigan, here's Republican presidential nominee and future U.S. Senator Mitt Romney.
Now, I love being home in this place where Ann and I were raised, where both of us were born. Ann was born at Henry Ford Hospital. I was born at Harper Hospital. No one's ever asked to see my birth certificate. They know that this is the place that we were born and raised.
That's it for this episode of C-SPAN's The Weekly. We hope you find in our video library other unexpected storylines from campaign 2022. Just go to cspan.org and use the search bar on top. Find more video about Barack Obama's birth certificate, find more Tulsi Gabbard appearances, find even more campaign 2022 surprises still. All for free, no registration, no certificate, birth or otherwise. Thanks for listening, happy searching, and, well, aloha.